Diburei Emuna. That's the force, that's the power of tefillah. Diburei Emuna Chelek Gimel Daf Nun Daled. That's the power and force of the tefillah. When a person knows, but deeply knows, that his life is not life if chas v'chalila he transgresses the will of his maker. If he won't be able to withstand this nisayon, I'd rather not live. Mamish akadei dayan kiddush Hashem, for the sake of Hashem. Then a person davens. Then a person screams to Kodesh Baruch Hu, do with me what you will. Do with me what you will. Or take my nefesh. Either you save me from doing an avera or kill me now. Even if naturally you don't see any way of you getting out of the mess you are, as we say, you're toast, I said before, you don't see any way of climbing out of the chokehold, the sitra achra, and the powers of evil have on you. You scream, that's the power of tefillah. At that time, only tefillah is the thing that can save a person from where he's at. It's the only thing. You can't commit suicide. It's forbidden. You're not allowed to do that. The only thing you can do is you can scream and call to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please save me. And if chas v'chalila I need to to make an avera, then take me. It's not bichdi that Rav Arush says in Sdei Yar, he says again, the first principle is daven, that it should plant, without any ambiguity inside you, without any fuzziness, be clear and mukhlat, resolute, and 100% no is no. I cannot overcome the Ratzon, the Ratzon of Hashem. No way, Jose. No. And you have to work on it until it's like the Shalshelos we said about Yosef. No is no is no is no. And if chas chalila yes, then kill me. Once you go like that, you win everything. Hashem will save you. He says the koach of tefillah is unbelievably big. In any time, in any places that you find yourself. Even when a person gets into a one-way street, there's no way out. It's a dead end. It closes, the walls are closing in on you. Like a very, very difficult and threatening situation that a person can find himself in. What is he going to do? You daven and you cry to Hashem. You daven and cry to Hashem. That's the only Eitzah, this heilige Nutta, this Baruch had. And he used it. Not 1 minute, not 1 hour, not 1 day, not 1 week, 3 full years. Every single day. For hours and hours and hours. Between, the endless forests of over there of Siberia. His eyes were up to the Shemayim. Either save me or take me. And that's the thing. He was able to stand on that. Rav Nosson says, Tavasti be'ivel metzula be'en mamav. Hashem harabu tzorai, harabu oivai. I've sunk, I've drowned in a swamp with no place to stand. Hashem, how numerous are my enemies, how strong they are. This whole... So Rav Nosson says, wait, time out. You already drowned in the first pasuk. So what are you doing? You're still calling out. How can you? You drowned. So Rav Nosson says, the crying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the mamad. that gives you a place to stand. As long as you're crying, that's a place to stand up. It's like a person is in the water as long as he's floating, as long as he's like, he holds himself up, he floats in the water. The fact that you're screaming, that's the moment. The fact that David HaMelech, Taka is drowning in a swamp that is bottomless. There's no place to stand. But screaming to Kodesh Baruch Hu about it, that's the place to stand. It gives you a purchase, something you can build on. That's a place to stand. It's the only way to go through the teifus. Now, very important to be mekadosh to Kodesh Baruch Hu and come back stronger than everybody. The power and the gvura of Torah. Now, it's a very important principle that we all need to understand. This is one of the tools, we're going like a repairman. It has a belt, with all his tools, stuck in. The same thing applies to Avodas Hashem. One of the tools that you need to have all the time, like a Dremel tool or a screwdriver or whatever it is you need to understand. The Gemara says there's a tefillah that is miskabel to 3 days, and a tefillah is miskabel after 3 months, and a tefillah is miskabel after 3 years. So I remember Reb Shmuel, I forgot his last name, in Borough Park, that he was talking about this. He says a person is standing by an Avera, in front of an Avera. What good does it does to him if the tefillah was covered in 3 days? Kal v'chomer in 3 years. So he says, if you need Yeshua right now, it'll be answered right now. Other tefillahs that other things that you don't necessarily, you think you need them, but you don't necessarily need them, because Baruch Hu knows better. Some you get after 3 days, some after 3 months, some after 3 years. But to save yourself an Avera right now, the tefillah is miskabel right now. And I'm telling you from my own experience, is boduk umenusa. %. Because the first thing I said was, forget it, this wasn't going to help me. How's it going to help me? What's it going to do? It's not your business.
You do.
You just do. You scream to Kadosh Baruch Hu. You scream to Yeshua, because if you need Yeshua right now, if you screamed and you weren't helped,
It was meant to be.
it was meant to. We'll see what will come out of it. Right now, there's a big to-do, a big noise. One of the Rabbanim of the Tzeinut Datit came out against, the perverts, and said that they're perverts. And everybody and his uncle, how could you, and how can you, and what are you going to tell, and what happened if it would have been your son, and what happened if it would have been your daughter, and what happened if it would be a murder, then it makes it's okay to murder. What kind of shtus is this? But it doesn't matter. But the point is, everybody's attacking from every. And one of the things that they have is they have what they call, that really drives these people, these politically correct people, batty, totally, is they have specialized psychological treatments that people that have a natural tendency towards that, to help them live normal lives. They're foaming at the mouth. They are so mad. Why? Because that comes to say there's something wrong with being that way. That it's not right to be that way. And they don't want to hear about that. If a person is fried, and that's the way you understand, that's the way you understand. I'm not talking to you. That's Gulnish Miknisht. As Rav Nosson says, if a person doesn't think what's going to be with him by the time he lies on the floor with the feet to the door, he says he's worse than a behemoth. I'm not talking to him. That's not the person I'm talking to. But the main thing is, a person, you have to understand, there are people who are religious that have this kind of tendencies. The Torah doesn't say you're not allowed to feel a certain way. The Torah says you're not allowed to act a certain way. The Torah also says, Oines Rachmona Patre. Okay, so you understand the people who go dancing in the street like prostitutes, and they call it pride. It's not pride. They're deeply, deeply ashamed, so they act as if they're proud to maybe gain, Nebuch, it's like the black people in America that have very deep inferiority complex, so they keep on changing how they want people to call them.
African American.
Yeah, first of all it was Negro, then it was then it was colored, and then it was black, and then it was. They think if you call me a different name, I'll feel different about myself. Work on yourself. What's it got to do with anything other people call you? It doesn't work. Same thing is over here, but I'm not talking about them. And this is what we need to know about this specific subject, okay? There are people, especially now, when this filth is prevalent all over, and everybody talks about it, and there's such a social pressure of a politically correct to say that it's normal, that it's fine, that it's this, that it's that, it contaminates the Yiddish folk, the Jewish people, the different people. You can't. They got mixed up with the goyim, and they learn from their deed. It takes away from the Yishman. But there are religious people who have this tendency. This is the desire that they have in their lives. Some people have a tendency to kill people. Some have a tendency, it gives a heter to kill people, because otherwise my life is not complete unless I actually shaft some people. It's nonsense. They live, if they actually act out on it, what are they going to do with the Yushanai? They're walking around in tremendous pain that nobody can understand. If you're telling them, listen, there is a treatment that you can go through, does it work? Probably like any other treatment, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But the point is, we also have a principle in the Torah called Oines Rachmona Patre. Somebody who was coerced, the Torah patters him. Which means if you did everything you could do, and you still couldn't do it, you're pater. So for them to go through, it doesn't matter whether it works or not. What matters is that you believe that you have done anything you could. It worked, it worked. It didn't. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't like the results. Let HaKadosh Baruch Hu change the results. Or not create me the way He created me. That's His business, not mine. I did whatever it is that I could. Same thing. I find myself failing in making averos every single day. With what I watch on the internet, or with the books that I read, or movies that I go to, or whatever it is that I do. But nevertheless, I go back to Kodesh Baruch Hu and I talk about it. I'm oisik b'tshuva. The Gemara says, somebody who repeats his sin and says, Echta ve'oshuv, then don't give him a chance. That's only when he doesn't worry about it. He says, it's okay, at the end they'll make you. No. Immediately afterwards, you go to Kodesh Baruch Hu, listen, I did that, and I'm not able to stop it. What shall I do? Oh, kacha. That means that you're doing tshuva all the time. The Rebbe says in Sefer Amidus, there's an Indian that they push a person mishamayim dafka. They make you stumble. Because what they want from you is to get up. That's the real Kodesh Baruch Hu wants.
It sounds like it's okay to sin, just make sure to make tshuva afterwards.
What it means is that you cannot make this decision. You can only make this decision that if you sinned, you get up again. Right. You shouldn't sin. If chas v'chalila you did, you get up again.
Well, how about stop sinning and work on yourself?
You just said two things but you switched the order.
Okay, well,
What do you say? Why did he switch the order? What's switching of the order?
on one side you say, you can sin just as long as you know you're sinning, make tshuva, it's fine. You can continue sinning, that's understood, right?
I said,
Right,
take it like somebody who's smoking cigarettes,
right.
okay? As long as you want to stop, it's okay to continue smoking.
That's I understood, yeah.
You still understand it that way? What do you say? Every cigarette is wrong.
Right. But if you know this is wrong, so that's it. Make
And if you
yourself
can't,
so work on yourself.
but that doesn't make you stop yet.
Yes. If you work on yourself, you'll make you stop.
Eventually,
Right.
exactly the thing with the Avera. Every Avera is like a cigarette. Every Avera is poison. You work on yourself, eventually you'll stop.
Okay, but you didn't even say you have to work on
You have
stopping.
to, without working, this is what the other guys are doing. Don't even try. What I'm saying, you shoot the arrow where it lands. You put the bullseye around it. It says that's the way to behave. The other guys, it gives them something to do, a shtadlos, to fight. It may very well be that, you don't know what the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants from them. Maybe the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants them to keep on failing and keep on fighting. Those people will get to the Olam Haba and they'll see that they're clean as a driven snow. They don't have a drop of dirt. What do you mean by my love? Mishamayim, we knew that you couldn't do anything about it. That was the Yonisayan. Where you're going to get despaired and says, forget about it, I'm going to dance in the street in the Mitzad HaToeva, and forget about it. I'm just going to paint the bullseye around where my arrow lands. If you keep on fighting for it, there's no tightness. We learned before this, you keep on stepping, so you get out of it. The main thing, and that's the main thing Rav Simcha told me years ago, and he said it to us again, when is the last step? The last step is the last day. You don't have to be fixed right now. You have to work on it right now. Everything Avera and Pgam is wrong right now. But once it's past, it's past. I'll start again. I'll mention it again. The minute you start painting the circle around the arrow, that's where you're in trouble. If you just keep on shooting the arrows wherever you want, you don't talk to Kodesh Baruch Hu about it, you don't say because you're Miyuish, because you're despaired, there's nothing you can do about it, eventually you will paint the bullseye around where your arrow is. If you keep on fighting, no, I know this is not the goal. But I tell again, but I know it's not the goal. But this is where I go. But I know it's not the goal. But this is where but I know it's not the goal. Relentlessly, some stuff you'll get out. Not only will you get out, but all those times that you failed, and you keep on bugging because you can't do this to me. You can't leave me there. I can't stay there. If you want me to stay there, if I'll fall, take my neshama. I don't care, but I don't want to be pagan. All this become kalim to asogas alakos. That's why the Gemara says anybody tshuva me'ahava, the zdoinus, the bechavona becomes chuyus. Never despair from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. The Rachmanas of Kodesh Baruch Hu is endless. I'm sitting here, Kanara, two important people sitting with Shmegegi. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. You open up your eyes one step at a time. Believe me, as I keep on saying, Olam Haba, there's such a table with a stand, with a this, with the coffee, Gan Eden. The three of us are going to sit there, we're going to learn. Bevadai. If we don't give up, if we don't keep on screaming, we don't become chacham. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're not changing anything. Come on, stop it. If you really wanted to stop, you would stop it already. Work on yourself. As Achochem you are. You work on yourself. You keep on working on yourself, to the end you'll stop it. You know, I remember I spoke to somebody, one moment, I'm sorry. I spoke to somebody when I was on the radio, and this guy was a joker. And we spoke about, people that fell into drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, addictions. And I said, I spoke, there are ways to get out of it and how difficult it is, whatever it is. So he was a cool guy. So he's cracking a joke. He says, you know how you get an addict out of his habit? You put your hand on his shoulder, and you look him in the eye, and you go, get out of it. That was really funny. So I told him, this is extremely funny until it's your kid. Then it loses a little bit of the punch. A little bit. Suddenly it's not so, it's funny, but it's not so funny.
Yeah.
Shem Yazal.